Rachel, Pressure, a DPSN video blog.
My name's Rachel Harrison. I'm finally realising a 20-year plus dream of starting a plus size clothing business.
What do you do?
So I've been working in domestic and sexual violence prevention for about 19 years now. Then for the last 10 odd years I've been working in Thames for the Hauraki Family Violence Intervention Network and Child Abuse Prevention Services. I ran a project called The Right to Be Safe, which is a primary prevention project to prevent child sexual abuse. So it's not about catching when there's risk or after it's happened, it's actually about stopping it so that it never happens in the first place.
Tell us about Pressure.
Not only do we exist in a society where there's pressure not to talk about this issue at all, but within situations where there might be child sexual abuse, there's also pressure on children not to talk about it, but also pressure on parents and caregivers and anybody who looks after children. I think we also put a lot of pressure on children to be the ones to stop it. And I think as a society we need to stop that and understand that children have very limited power to stop child sexual abuse. So it's actually down to the adults around that child to do the work, to set up environments where child sexual abuse is less likely to happen. And it's not as hard as it sounds.
Can you tell us how?
One of the things which can really help is if we can get over the pressure that we put on children to give up their bodies to us as adults. So we often expect children to hug and kiss people that we ask them to, and that kind of pressure is really difficult when it comes to preventing child sexual abuse, because it's very easy to teach children that what they want about their bodies isn't as important as what an adult wants. So one of the things that we can really simply do is just make sure that we respect children's bodies as being their own and not pressure them into doing anything that they don't want to do. And if we can teach kids that actually no matter what pressure is coming at them, that their right to determine what happens to their body is paramount, that would be really great. If you're helping children to understand their own feelings so that when something feels off, they can talk about it, they can name it, and that you're giving them a right to talk about it as well.
What if we're scared?
I think the first thing is to not get caught up in how scary child sexual abuse is. I've worked with a number of adults who have really shied away from having discussions with anybody in their family because they think they're going to have to say very hardcore stuff that they find difficult to think about, let alone talk about. But in fact, prevention is as easy as calling a penis, calling a vagina, a vulva, a vulva, and actually being available to talk about it. One of the things that silence does is it creates a pressure not to talk about it. So when we're not talking about sexual development, when we're not in that space, children learn that it's something that you shouldn't talk about. So actually parents can alleviate that pressure from their children by taking the lead. It's our job to do this work for children.
Who can do this work?
Everybody can have a role about preventing child sexual abuse. As an auntie or an uncle or whoever you are, you can still use those strategies, and it's about giving children autonomy and giving children rights. And it's about us listening, it's about us being available as adults as well.